Today we are discussing the 7th Canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the topic is Krishna partial or is God partial? So, what do you think?
Yes. Towards the devotees
is impartially partial.
Yeah. So first of all, he's not partial, he's complete. Partial means incomplete. And Krishna is impartial. Krishna is complete, not partial. So there is a verse. What is the verse which says Krishna is not partial, Krishna is complete?
Om Purnamada Purnam.
Thank you. You can recite the full verse.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Thank you. So Purnam means complete. So Krishna is complete. So Krishna is not partial. So by definition, God is complete because, as Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, the definition of God is Aham Sarvasya Prabho Mattah Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. So from whom everything comes. So if something is there in the world which is not there in Krishna, this means Krishna is not complete. God is not complete. So just like we say in science, if something is the building block, if something is not there in the building block but it is there in the surface form or the manifestation, then this means the building block is not complete. We need something else. That's why we had Higgs boson. Okay, so Krishna is not partial, he is complete. That is one meaning of partial. Another meaning of partial is biased. Biased towards somebody. So I just noted down the dictionary meanings of the word partial. So favoring one side in a dispute, that's what the dictionary says. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyusti na priyaha. So Krishna says, I am equal to everybody. I have no dveshya means I have no envy towards anybody, and na priya means I have no favoritism towards anybody. So Krishna is saying that I am impartial. So that's it. So Krishna is impartial. So what else do we need here? So this theory is known, but then when we see the practical observation, we find Krishna is doing things which appear to be partial, right? Now, an obedient student like me would like to keep his mouth shut and would not ask any questions. I will say, yeah, the theory says Krishna is impartial, so he must be impartial. But the devotees are not like that. They ask questions. They express their doubts. They don't keep their doubts to themselves. So this is what a devotee means. He is inquisitive or she is inquisitive to know the truth. They are not just a yes man person that, okay, yes, I agree, Krishna is impartial. No, they ask the question, okay, if Krishna is impartial, then why is he taking side of the devatas and he is acting against the demons? So when Parikshit Maharaja, okay, so this conversation goes back to Parikshit Maharaja and Sukadeva Goswami. So Parikshit is king of the earth, and Sukadeva Goswami is a spiritualist who is teaching him in an assembly of many sages. And in this assembly, Srila Sukadeva Goswami narrated that how Krishna took side of the demigods, the devatas, and dethroned or acted against the demons. And in particular, the demon which was mentioned by Sukadeva Goswami is Vritrasura. Vritrasura is a very famous demon. I think one of the most famous demons in the Vedic culture.
Infamous.
Both ways. So he is the most popular demon in the Vedic culture. And Krishna, he saw that how the demigods or the devatas like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, they were running for life. in fear of Vritrasura, and they were hiding here and there. And Vritrasura and the demons, they were ruling on the kingdom of heaven. So Krishna, the demigods, the devotees, they approached Krishna, Lord Vishnu, and they prayed to him, please suggest us what to do. We are in a bad shape. So Lord Vishnu told them, okay, go to the Dichi Muni, and he told the entire plan, basically to dethrone Vritrasura or to defeat the demons. And throughout this plan, Krishna was helping them also. And finally, Vritrasura was killed. And Indra became the king of heaven again. So this was one instance which caught the attention of Parikshit Maharaj. But in other instances also we see how Krishna is dethroning demons. Like another famous example is Hiranyakashipu. He was the king of demons and Narsimhadev came and killed him. Who else? Bali Maharaj is because Bali Maharaj conquered heaven. I don't think Ravan conquered heaven. He was in Lanka. So Bali Maharaj conquered the heaven and it was a fierce battle in which he defeated Indra. And then Indra came back with his army again to defeat Bali Maharaj, and Krishna kind of helped the demigods, the devatas. So in this way, we see so many practical examples how God is partial. So why not this question? Why to keep shut? Why not ask this question? Why is God partial? So Parikshit Maharaj is a very honest person. He says, my dear Sukadeva Goswami, I have full faith in the theory, but then here is a discrepancy apparently that God is acting in a very partial way. And so why is this partiality? So this is the question. Very honest and very humble. So he's an example of how to ask questions. So don't keep any doubts within you, ask questions. But then also we see the character of Sukadeva Goswami. He's such a trustworthy teacher. Generally, if you ask very difficult questions or very stupid questions, or you question the basic assumptions, then the teacher will become very angry. Right? Material teachers may become very angry, or they may keep a grudge against us, or they may judge us. Oh, this person, he didn't even understand the simple thing. I told him in the class, this is how it is, and he's asking questions. He's a very impudent or arrogant student. So in this way, there could be judgment or prejudices or opinion forming, everything. But Sukadeva Goswami, he's a pure devotee, a pure Vaishnava, pure at heart. So he is rather welcoming him. He's saying, okay, I will read the exact verse, which Sukadeva Goswami said, my dear king, you have put before me an excellent question. Right? Discourses concerning the activities of the Lord, in which the glories of his devotees are also found, are extremely pleasing to devotees. Such wonderful topics always counteract the miseries of the materialistic way of life. Therefore, great sages like Narada always speak upon Srimad Bhagavatam because it gives one the facility to hear and chant about the wonderful activities of the Lord. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vyasadeva and then begin describing topics concerning the activities of Lord Hari. So he's saying, thank you very much. It's a very good question.
There's a translation going on. If you read a verse, please tell me which verse you read so then you can read it again.
Okay. Thank you. This is 7th Canto, verse number 4 to 5 of first chapter, 7.1.4. Okay. So when he started explaining, let's first understand what is the meaning of partiality. So whenever you see a difficult situation, we teach in the class that go to the basics, go to the first principles. What are the first principles here? Partiality. What is the meaning of the term partiality? So let's delve upon that for a moment. What is partiality?
Being biased.
Biased.
Favoring someone else over another.
So why do we do partiality?
Because we like something.
Huh?
Because we like the friend more than the other.
We like one person more than the other. Why do we like that person?
Our conditioning.
I have some hidden motive, right?
Yes.
Maybe I am voting some politician because I know this person will give me some benefit, right? Or I am the politician may favor some, when they release tenders, they may favor one person to give tender because they know that he will give us commission or backdoor or something. So there is some hidden motive. But God has no hidden motive. He is self-sufficient. He is Atma Rama. Atma Rama means that he is happy with himself. He does not need anything external to become happy. So therefore there is no benefit which he can derive by favoring somebody or doing partiality, right? There is a nice verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says that Yona dveshti na rishyati. So Krishna is saying those devotees who do not hate anybody, don't favor anybody, they are self-satisfied, they are very dear to me. And if Krishna is encouraging others to have such qualities, will Krishna himself not have such qualities? He has those qualities. He says, Namam karmani dimpanti name karma phalas priya. So he has no interest in anything external. He's self-satisfied. So this means he has no reason to do partiality in this way. What other reasons could be there? One can do partiality. Another reason could be
Attachment.
attachment means I have something to gain from that. Like
Maybe someone has done something for us, so in order to reciprocate with that
Gratitude
person.
or favor. Returning back the favor or something like this.
which means somebody did something for us, but I needed something, so he gave something
We owe
to me.
something to them.
We owe something to them, yes. But Krishna does not owe anything to anybody. Krishna is self-sufficient.
As a matter of reciprocation with what the person did to us, we also try to reciprocate.
But then this means somebody else does the same to me, I will reciprocate with him also. That is not partiality then. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, so that is not partial. Partiality means I am favoring one party over other, and I am like kind of, even if that person does everything to please me, I am still not giving him.
When they are abiding by our what we say, then we also favor them.
But other party can also abide by that, and
But if the other party never abides,
that is the law. Means that is simply the law. Means when you have government, if somebody is a criminal, then government may put them in prison. That is not partiality. That is just okay. Rule you did not follow. If I put my hand in fire, fire will burn me, and fire will not say. I cannot say fire is partial because he is burning my finger, because that is the law. That is the law of nature, which I have to abide. That is not partiality.
Maybe to teach, teach the world what is right, because by taking side or like by being partial to good things, maybe he is telling the world that that's what you should follow. I'm not sure.
Yeah, interesting perspective.
Like he would not take sides of devils.
Yeah, but see, this is real life situation. Means in real life situation, when something happens, then you cannot say, okay, others can take lesson from how miserable I am. So, because demons are becoming miserable here. And if Krishna says, oh, I was just giving a lesson to the world. And then demons will say, but at our cost.
Yeah.
So that could be a bit harsh. Yeah. Another reason, okay.
I can be partial when like in sports, corrupt referee. Yeah? So if you take money from some
Yes,
some
yes.
bets, yeah.
So that is means I have some hidden motive, but Krishna has no hidden motive. Means he has no money. No money can give him pleasure. So why will he take money from somebody? Right?
Maybe just one party is better qualified.
But that is not partiality. If you have a college and you have an entrance exam, and one Prabhu cleared the exam because he prepared well and he wrote the exam nicely. Another person like me did not study, was playing outside and then into exam.
Yes. But if two people apply for the same job, you hear both people and then you have to decide. So that you have to take partiality. And you should, in theory, judge on who's better qualified to do the
Yes.
job.
So if it is on basis of qualification, which was listed on the job posting, then it is not partiality. Partiality means undue favor to somebody. So one reason could be that yes, the other person gave me some money, so I gave the job to that person. One more reason could be out of fear. I may do partiality out of fear. I'm afraid that, he's a powerful person. If I don't give the tender to this person, then he will do something bad against me. This is a weak person, so anyways I can ignore that. So out of fear I can do partiality. But Krishna has nobody to fear from. He is fear personified is afraid of him. Yad bibheti swayam bhayam. What is that? Bhirapi yad bibheti. Right? What is the Kunti Maharani's prayer? She says, Samam vimohayati bhirapi yad bibheti. Like, even fear personified is afraid of Krishna. He doesn't have to fear anybody. Then why is he partial? Is he afraid of Indra? That if I not favor him, then Indra may do something against me? So fear is also ruled out. Another reason could be out of envy. I envy somebody, so I just don't favor that person, or I just keep all the goods away from that person. Out of envy. This person 10 years ago, he said something to me, so now I will show him. This is the time for me to take the revenge. Right? This is out of enviousness. But Krishna has no envy. Krishna does not envy anybody. Krishna already has said, Yona dveshti na hrishyati. So Krishna has no one to envy with. Then how is he? Then why is he partial? So these are the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. See, Krishna has no reason to become partial. Then why is he acting in a partial way? Right? So is the question clear? That he's saying there is no reason to be partial. Then why is he partial? Another reason to do partiality could be just ignorance. Somebody is just foolish, right? So he may just favor one person just out of foolishness. But Krishna is not foolish. Foolishness is because of mode of ignorance, and Krishna is above all the modes. Krishna says, Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suete Sacharacharam. He is the lord of the three modes of nature, which means ignorance cannot touch him. He is always above ignorance. He has so many names. One name is Uttama. His name is Uttama, means Tama means ignorance. Uttama means one who is above ignorance. So Krishna has no ignorance. So then why is he favoring? So these are the justifications or logic given by Parikshit Maharaj. So very well thought question. Not just an arbitrary question, but a very well thought question. Sukadeva Goswami thanks him. The first thing which Sukadeva Goswami says is, God's acts are wonderful, inconceivable. He acts in ways which can confuse even the greatest of minds. Any examples? God acts in ways even the greatest of minds are confused. Brahmaji's body is made up of intelligence, like supercomputer, like walking supercomputer. But even he was confused when he saw Krishna was in the forest of Raja and eating from the cowherd friends and no rules and regulations, just eating with left hand, right hand. So in this way, Brahmaji became very confused. Is he the God? So God's activities are inconceivable. So Brahmaji says, Janantu eva janantu kim bahuktya name prabho manaso vapusho vacho vaibhavam tvamagocharam. So he says, those who say we understand absolute truth, let them speak. As far as I am concerned, I don't understand. I don't understand even a tiny fragment. So his vaibhavam means his greatness is beyond my manaso vapusho vacho, means beyond my capacity. So this is Brahmaji saying. Actually, we find some parallels in the material world also. There is a famous scientist called Professor Feynman, if you have heard the name Feynman. So Richard Feynman, he said, if anybody says he understands an electron, he's lying. Which means even an electron is such a wonderful thing, material thing, but wonderful thing that nobody understands and nobody can claim to understand. What to speak of Krishna then? He is certainly inconceivable. That's the first thing which Sukadeva Goswami recognizes, that Krishna is inconceivable. And then he confirms the theory. He said, yes, the theory is right. Krishna is nirguna. He has no envy, no fear, no favoritism, no benefit to derive from. He is self-sufficient, happy with himself. Then why does the activities appear like partial? So Sukadeva Goswami goes to some theory. He says, in this world, we know, yes, God is there, God is very nice, we are His devotees, very nice, but things become inconceivable or not understood properly when we don't understand the science. At the surface level, if we stay at the surface level, we'll be confused. We either shut our eyes, or if we have to open our eyes, then we'll be confused. So what is the remedy? Understand the science. The science is, it's not just Krishna alone, and it's not just we alone. There is also nature, and nature has an important role to play. And the nature has three modes, or three kind of modalities through which nature acts. These modes are mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. To read more about this, you can go to the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which describes these modes in detail. But in short, what is the single word which describes mode of goodness? Single word which describes mode of goodness?
Virtue.
Sukham Jnana.
English.
Virtue, Tugend.
Virtue. Virtue. Yeah, that's a
Pious.
good word. Pious. Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter uses one word very specifically for mode of goodness. It describes many characteristics, but one word it highlights.
Sukham Jnana.
Jnanam, knowledge. So a person who is in mode of goodness has an affinity to learn, affinity to gain knowledge, affinity to ask questions, affinity to then practice or lead a life which is very conducive to knowledge, or which is based on knowledge. Right? So that is mode of goodness. So this is the mode of goodness, means characterized by knowledge. What about passion? Rajogun.
Kama.
Kama means lust or exploitation. Exploiting the resources, exploiting either the resources around us or exploiting my own body. Right? So this is all characterized by passion. Mode of passion means Rajoguna, which means how can I exploit, how can I derive happiness from my senses, how can I derive happiness by looting the world, by churning the resources of the world. Mode of passion. And I want to be at the top, I want to show to the world that how I am able to exploit everybody the best. So this is mode of passion. Then mode of ignorance, tamogun. What is the single word which describes
Nidra.
Darkness.
nidra, darkness? So in simple words, foolishness. Like, because the person who is a foolish person, he will be sleeping, he'll be doing things which are not to be done. Let's say if I eat an ice cream with hot tea, I will, like, my stomach will go bad or my throat will go bad. But this is foolishness. I cannot blame shopkeepers or my friends, but it's just foolishness. Yeah. So this is mode of ignorance. Similarly, if I have an exam tomorrow and I'm sleeping today, nobody can help. It's just ignorance. So this is mode of ignorance. There is no logic. It's very illogical way of living. Very illogical way of life. And it is especially averse to knowledge. If somebody is giving knowledge, I will just shut my ears. No, I don't want knowledge. This is mode of ignorance. Means it is intentionally averse to knowledge that Krishna describes in the 14th chapter. So these is the three modes of material nature. Now, I have a choice. I can associate with any of these three modes. So, what is the problem? I can enjoy or exploit my senses, exploit the world. What is the problem? I can be an ignorant person. What is the problem? Or I can be a knowledgeable person. What is the problem? I have the choice. What is the problem?
We will be bonded in every choice.
Consequences. Problem is the consequences. Yes, I have the choice, but then consequences are fixed. Fire is there, you want to put your hand or not. An electric circuit is there, you want to turn on the switch or not. You have the choice, but then if your circuit has some short circuit and you turn it on, then boom, it's gone. You blow up the whole lab. But if you it was your choice, but then once you have pressed the button or you turn on the switch, then material or the nature will act. Nature will act as per its nature. Right? Things will evolve as per nature. So that choice is there, but then the consequences are governed by the nature. Right? So, and what is the consequence? The consequence is that in Sattva Guna, okay, so first of all, there is something called time factor. Time means which brings the consequences, right? Consequence, I do something today and the consequence will happen at the next moment, or maybe after some time. So time evolves things, right? Things evolve in time. And that is where the nature comes into play. The nature which we study in sciences and physics. It studies nature, that how things evolve with time. Yes, I have the choice, but then after the choice, things evolve with time. So this time factor is very important. And what happens with time? People who are in Sattva Gun, who act as per knowledge, they will flourish, right? Very naturally they will flourish. Why? Because I know what to eat, so I will maintain a good health. But the person who is in mode of passion, what will happen to them? Diseases will come inevitably. They will enjoy for some time, exploit for some time, and then resources are exhausted, or their capacity to enjoy the resources is exhausted, right? And they are miserable because all their investment is gone now. They invested in the resources are gone. They invested in the or the capacity to enjoy the resources is gone. So it leads to misery. It appears very sweet in the beginning, but miserable as time passes, it becomes more and more miserable. And the third, foolishness, is miserable. Always miserable. It's always miserable, right? I was sleeping in the tomorrow is my exam and I am sleeping today. Just sleeping means I'm not enjoying anything, I'm just sleeping, and tomorrow I'm going to fail, so I'm going to suffer anyways. So it's suffering all through. So this is, ignorance is always suffering, and there is no nobody's forcing you to make a choice. It's my own choice. I decided to choose Sattva-gun, okay, I'll flourish. I decided to choose Rajogun, okay, I will enjoy for some time and then suffer later. I decided to choose Tamogun and I will go down, or I will suffer all the time. So this is just laws of nature. There is no partiality or nobody involved here to push you. It's my choice. So that's the point which Sukadeva Goswami answers. He says it's just the nature that enhances the Sattva Guna and annihilates the Tamoguna. There is no partiality here. Now you go back to now after understanding this science or this theory, now you go back to the observation. What did we observe? Why are the demons defeated in the battle? They will be defeated because what are they doing? Just enjoying in the heaven, and they will become weak. Definitely they will become weak, and then demigods will win. Right? So, and sometimes the demons, they occupy the throne of Indra forcefully. For example, let's say you have a house, you are the owner of the house or a legitimate or legal owner of the house. Somebody comes and sits in your house. What will happen? You'll call the police will come and remove that person. You'll say, no, you are not the legitimate owner. If you want to sit in the house, first purchase it, and then you can sit in the house. There are rules, there are laws which one has to abide by. Similarly, to become Indra, there are laws. You want to become Indra, okay, there is a prescribed method. You do this many yagyas and you live this kind of life and you do this much austerity, and then you are qualified to become the Indra. Now if somebody forcefully just bumps into and says, okay, I want to become the Indra, and tries to do some havoc, what will happen? Police will come. And who is the ultimate police? Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu is, his only business is just to maintain law and order in the society. That okay, let people or let the world, let the laws of nature function in a normal way. He has no partiality. He only makes sure that the laws are in place. That's it. He does not favor anybody, does not do partiality against anybody. That's the answer given by Sukadeva Goswami. Are you happy with this answer? So, for example, I go to a cricket ground and I hit my bat in a wrong way, and the umpire says you are dismissed from the match. So, umpire has to do his job. He has to make sure the laws are maintained or the law and order is maintained on the ground. But he's not favoring anybody. So tomorrow if you play well, the umpire will give you sixer or score or whatever. But if you don't play well, then umpire has to dismiss you. Right? So he's just like a neutral person. He's not doing any partiality. Similarly in exams, the professor is there, he sees student is doing well, he will give marks. Students not doing well, he will give no marks or bad marks, partial marks. But he's not partial, but marks are partial. Okay, that's it. That's the answer of Sukadeva Goswami. Are you happy with the answer? Anybody has any questions?
We discussed that we are free to choose the modes, and once we choose the modes, then Krishna comes to maintain the law and order if we are trying to like take the position. But then also like Prakriti is the doer, and we are all conditioned in the modes of material nature. So from previous lives, people have already developed conditioning, so who can be blamed for this?
No, just come out of the conditioning. Very simple. There is a way. I get sick.
Yeah.
What is the way? Go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Ask the doctor, please suggest some remedy. Doctor will say, okay, what did he say? Stop eating white rice, white sugar and white flour.
and white flour.
So that's the remedy doctor suggested, and if you follow it, you will become healthy very soon. Similarly, Krishna is suggesting associate with devotees, read books of knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, chant my names, have prasadam. You will be healthy very, very soon.
The demigods, so actually the devatas, why they went to Vishnu instead of
Krishna. Pardon?
So when the devatas had problem, so why they went to Vishnu instead of Krishna?
They are same. Both are same. There is no difference between Vishnu and Krishna. So it's like, what's your name?
Yashwant.
Yashwant. You stay in the office and you also stay at home, right? So when you are in office, your staff will come to you with their problems. Yashwant, please help me. And they can go to your home also, but mostly they will prefer meeting you in the office for their official problems. So similarly, Lord Vishnu is when Lord Krishna is in office, that is Lord Vishnu, and devatas go to him and ask for their official problems. And when they want to have fun, then they go to Krishna's home and they play with him. And in Vrindavan we see how the demigods, they are playing with Krishna. Okay, so this is not it. Yeah.
So you were mentioning about biasness and partiality in the lecture. So it will be, maybe it's a silly question. Are they both same? Biasness and partiality?
Maybe if you are a linguist, you can tell the difference.
No, I just wanted to know. Are they same?
I looked up in the dictionary the meaning of partial it said biased. One of the meanings is biased. Yeah, I am sure some linguists can find mistakes in what I said, but yeah, that's the nature of linguists. No linguist is a linguist unless he finds a mistake with other linguists.
So Prabhu, I just want to ask, Krishna is not biased or partial. So when like the devotees who are following Krishna or who want to have this desire to have love for Krishna, like if they are partial, so how should we look into those situations when we feel like the devotees are partial?
Okay, I thought you will ask another question, but this question is very interesting. Thank you for the question. Somebody mentioned in the beginning of the talk, Krishna is partial towards devotees. Is he partial towards devotees?
Yes.
No. Can explain.
Ah. Well, he's not partial with his devotees because anybody can be his devotee.
Perfect.
So that's what Sri Ram said when Vibhishan surrendered. He said, Sukadeva Goswami Jayachati Abhayam Sarvabhuti. Whoever surrenders to me, saying just once I'm yours, I will fully accept and give liberation. Whoever, Sarvabhuta, any being.
Yes.
He did not give any needed qualification. We just need to surrender. So anyone can surrender and say, and the Lord will be on his side. Just for that reason.
What's your name, Prabhu?
Andre.
Andre Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, perfect answer. If you think God is favoring devotees, become a devotee and get the favor. He's not barring anybody from becoming a devotee. So he is even inviting Ravana, as Prabhuji mentioned, come and become my friend. Become my friend. Come, we will be very nice friends and we will rule the world together. What is the problem? But Ravana had envy. That became problematic. Oh, he has a better wife than me. So, or he's a mere human being. He's my food, and he's showing his prowess to me. So, Lord is always inviting everybody. Like Lord Jagannath has a big eyes. He's waiting. Come, let's have fun time together. So it's not. I'll just tell one story which I heard from some devotees. Like not a Shastra story, but there was once a devotee. He used to get his head. He used to go to a barber to get his head shaved, and the barber was always telling him, God is so partial, God is so partial, and he will tell his reasons, and the devotee is just hearing and he's telling some philosophy and not able to explain, and he says, no, God is so partial. And this devotee, he came out of the shop, and after shaving, he came out of the shop and he then went back to the barber, pulled him out. He said, barbers are so partial in this city. What do you mean? I'm not partial. Yes, you are. Look at that man. He's having long beard and long hair. You're so partial. You're not shaving them. He said, but they don't come to me. I'm not barring them from coming. They have to come to me first so that I can shave them. So that's the answer. You have to go to God, and He is not partial. He will give you everything. Okay, so what was this? Okay, this was one question asked by. Now, after narrating this, Sukadeva Goswami said, okay, let us make your question a little more tough. He said another instance, he quoted another instance, he said, once there was Rajasuya Yajna happening. Rajasuya Yajna is a sacrifice in which almost the entire world participated, and Krishna was glorified in the Yajna. It was done by Yudhishthir Maharaj, who was at that time he's the prince of the whole world. Dhritarashtra is the king and Parikshit Maharaja is the prince, and under the kind of auspices of Dhritarashtra, Parikshit Maharaj did this Rajasuya Yagya, in which all the sages, all the demigods, so many kings and like so many people came, and it was millions of people, probably maybe more. So they were all there, and in this Yagya, Krishna killed a person called Shishupala. And this Shishupala was a demoniac person. Right from birth. How many of you have babies? How many of you have babies? I have one. Nobody is happy. So if a baby is born, what does the baby say? Maybe first he's crying, and then maybe later, when maybe 1 year, 2 years, 1 year, Mama, Papa, Bua or something, right? Dada. These are the simple words he will say. But when Shishupal was born, he started abusing Krishna. No Papa, no Mama, nothing. Just Krishna is this, that. I won't say that, but that's what he said. All the bad words he will use for Krishna. And right from the birth. And so was his brother Dantavakra. So both brothers were expert in insulting Krishna, and they will not miss any opportunity. They were relatives of Krishna, and so they know what is happening, and they are close to Krishna, and they are only insulting Krishna, or you can say blaspheming Krishna, or speaking ill about Krishna all the time. Right from the birth, all through his life, that is what he was doing. And then, what was the result? If somebody does this to me, and I become the Prime Minister of India, what will I do? First, I will get my account settled with him. Most probably, I will make some case against that person, put him in the bar or something. I will do something. But what Krishna did, he gave him mukti. He gave him liberation. What is liberation? It's such a rare thing. Like if I go to Himalayas or Alps and I do tapasya for thousands of years, even then it is difficult for me to get mukti. If I lead a very pure life, very honest, very austere, very pure, no sense gratification, even then mukti is so rare, it is so difficult. And Krishna gave that mukti, that prized object, to Shishupal. And what was he doing? Just criticizing Krishna, insulting Krishna all through his life. So this is very partial, appears very biased. Why did he do that? Why did he give? There are people who are much more qualified, so to say. And then there is this Shishupal who is not at all qualified, rather negatively qualified. So why is Krishna giving liberation to him and not to those people so easily? On the other hand, there is another king, a neutral king. His name is Vena. Vena is a king. He has no relationship with Krishna, but he's a very cruel king. What did he do? So when he was a small baby, small child, what do children do? They go out to play. Sometimes there are some disagreements. What will the children do? They will fight. Maybe he will hit, one person will hit other, and that's it. They will come back crying. They will go to their mothers. But what this Vena do when he was a small child? What did he do? Whenever he had a fight with somebody, he will kill the person, kill the child, and he will throw him in the river and drown him. Or in this way, this was his cruelty from his childhood. And when he became the king, he was not supposed to become the king, but then everybody thought, let us make him the king, because his father had left. Father retired from the king post, and then this person, Vena, he was installed the king. Think that maybe when he becomes responsible, he will stop becoming so cruel, but it didn't happen. He maintained his cruel activities, and the whole kingdom was suffering because of him. Like very, very cruel, very, very, you can say, torture everybody. That kind of a king. So when you have a king like this, what do people do? The intelligent people, they'll make some plans to dethrone him, to maybe there are mob who will kill him, like we have heard in the history, mob enters the palace and kills the king, and so something like that happened. The intelligent people, the Brahmanas, they killed the king, the Vena, and Vena went to hell. Vena went to hell. Now Vena was not more cruel than Shishupal, or not more insulting than Shishupal. Shishupal got liberation and Vena got hell. What is this happening? Why is God? Is God partial? Right. So that's the question which Yudhishthira Maharaj asked to Naradji. Yudhishthira Maharaj, just right after the killing of Shishupal, when he saw that how Shishupal got liberation, he asked this question to Naradji. Naradji, what is this happening? It's something surprising. This person is getting liberation. It appears Krishna is partial. So what does Naradji reply?
He was remembering Krishna.
Naradji says, okay, let's understand the science again. Now this is another science. So we saw previously, Sukadeva Goswami has explained the three modes of material nature. Right? The modes will act no matter, Krishna is not interfering with the modes. You as you sow, so shall you reap. Right? That was the response of Sukadeva Goswami. Now Naradji, he said, let us go back to the first principles. Let us go back to the basics. What do you mean by insult? What was the question of Yudhishthira Maharaj? This Shishupal insulted Krishna all through his life. He blasphemed Krishna, he used bad words. He blasphemed Krishna all through his life and he's getting liberation. Naradji asked, what is the meaning of insult? What is your answer? What is the meaning of insult?
Using bad words for someone.
Using bad words for
The other person.
somebody's body. How can I insult you? I'll say, you look like an idiot, or you look like some animal. How will I insult you? I'll say, your intelligence is so bad. Or how will I insult you? Oh, he is maybe some racist comment I can make. Right? That is the meaning of insult. But Krishna has no body. Krishna has no material body. So, who can insult Krishna? So, this was the first response of Naradji. What do you mean by insult? How can anybody insult Krishna? And likewise, how can anybody praise Krishna? When I praise you, I'll say, you look so smart. Or I'll say, oh, you are so intelligent. But Krishna has no material body or material intelligence. And Krishna has no benefit to derive from anybody's praise. If I praise you, you will feel happy and you will give me some benefit. Right? But Krishna has no benefit to derive from anybody. Let's say if I praise you, tomorrow you can go and you can say, you know, that person praised me, and you put, testimony. This people praised me, this person praised me, this person praised me, so I can show to the world how people are praising me. Is God that kind of a person? He has to show some testimony to somebody, see, this person is praising me, this person is praising me. So God has no interest in our praises and also in our insults. God has no interest in that. He has no, he does not favor me if I praise him. He does not, what is the opposite of favor? He does not put me to a disadvantage if I insult him. But that's the first response of Naradji, that praise and insult do not hold for Krishna. He doesn't have a material body, he does not have any material interests, he is totally self-satisfied, happy with himself. He does not need anybody else to make him happy by praising him. He does not need anybody else to make him unhappy by insulting him. That only happens in the material context, material world. So as long as we are in the material world, we will be affected by praise and insult, and we will become partial. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that my devotees should become unaffected by praise and insult. What is the verse? Yes. So, sama, ninda, tulya, tulya, ninda, stuti. What is that? Tatha mana apamana. There is another verse from 12th chapter. Yeah. Tatha mana apamana yoho. Bhaktiman sachame priya. Okay. So Krishna says that devotees should also imbibe those qualities, that they do not become affected by praise and insult. And Krishna has those qualities already. So your question is, okay, at one level, this question is not valid. When you say Shishupala insulted Krishna, no, nobody can insult Krishna, right? Now the question is then, why did Shishupal merge into Brahman? Why did Shishupal get mukti, which is so rare? What is the answer for that? He said, this is because of engaging with Krishna. Anybody who engages with Krishna, which means anybody who remembers Krishna, who desires Krishna, who wants to have a relationship with Krishna, or who always serves Krishna, always thinks about Krishna, that person becomes purified. And that person gets the benefit. So Shishupal was doing that. He was insulting Krishna. He was envious towards Krishna. Therefore he became purified, and finally he got mukti. But Vena, he was totally agnostic towards Krishna. He did not even know who is Krishna. That's why he did not get anything. Rather, he went to hell because of his own karma, his own activities. Right? So that's the answer which Sukadeva Goswami gives, that Shishupal, he engaged with Krishna. So Krishna says Sukadeva Goswami says, prayers by devotees and insults by demons do not affect Krishna. So we understand, okay, insults are not affecting Krishna, but even prayers are not affecting Krishna. That's something surprising. Even prayers don't affect Krishna. Why are we then praying to him? So we are praying to build a relationship with Krishna. We are praying to build a relationship. And when we build that relationship, we ourselves become pure and we realize our real nature. And I am a spirit soul. And I have fundamentally a relationship with Krishna, the relationship of love. And I can derive so much of happiness or ultimate happiness from that relationship. So when I'm getting favored, so Krishna is not favoring artificially or externally, but rather it is by nature, that because I'm coming closer to Krishna, I naturally get the purification, or I naturally become nice. Yasya asti bhagavati bhakti rakinchana sarvai gunais tatra samasate sura. All the divine qualities which are within the spirit soul, which are within me, they become manifested because of coming closer to Krishna. Prabhupada gives an example, just like when you have gold and you bring it to fire, all the impurities go away and the gold shines, dazzles even more, because that's the natural shine of gold. But when it is covered by something, those things are covering the nature of gold. But when you put it into fire, naturally the shine comes out. So that is, Krishna is like that fire, and we have some contaminations. They go away when we come closer to Krishna. So Krishna is not favoring somebody, but it is just nature of that relationship. That's the answer given by Naradji. Naradji says, okay, let me read the verse.
I have a small question.
I'll read this verse, then I will take these two questions. Okay. How do I go to bookmark? Okay. Naradi says something very surprising, which will actually dazzle your mind. You will say, oh, what is happening? So Shishupal got mukti, and what is Naradji saying? Shishupal insulted Krishna all through his life. He was so envious of Krishna, insulted every moment of his life, and he got mukti. What Naradji will say? Naradji said, Shishupal is better devotee than me. Shishupal is better spiritualist than me. It's very surprising. And he gives a reason. He gives reason that by devotional service, one cannot achieve such intense absorption in thoughts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one can through enmity towards him. That is my opinion. Naradji is saying, Shishupal is better devotee than me. Because he had so intense absorption in Krishna. Even I can't have that absorption, because he's always envious of Krishna. He's always thinking about Krishna. Krishna, I will show you. And he's not able to come out of his thoughts of Krishna. Whereas I am trying my best to remember Krishna. But he, even if he wants, he cannot forget Krishna. So that's how Naradji is praising Shishupala. Now here, the character of a devotee comes out. How a devotee sees others. A devotee like Naradji, how he sees even demon like Shishupala. So this is what we learn from the Vaishnava, about Vaishnavta from this incident, from this episode, that how Naradji thinks. Prabhupada writes, indeed, Naradji thinks himself deficient in the inspiration of being feelingly absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is saying. So Naradji is feeling deficient, that I am not able to do what Shishupala is able to do. Oh, okay, somebody may think, then why not become demons? So the answer is, I heard this answer from Krishna Maharaj. So he quoted from, I think, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So he said, yes, the absorption because of enviousness towards Krishna is very intense, but generally it is short-lived. It is intense but short-lived. Whereas the absorption with devotion, it may not be that intense, but if we are sincere, it will be long-lasting. So that's why it is advised to become devotee rather than becoming envious of Krishna. Because the person who is envious of Krishna, he will, after some time, he will become so much materially absorbed, he'll forget Krishna. So he will not remember his enmity towards Krishna, because he says, I have better things to focus on. Why to worry about this person? Right? So he will better sense gratification objects to focus on. So that's why it is recommended to become a devotee and not an envious person. So I was just thinking here, Naradji is the one who has given the definition of bhakti. And there is one definition which we know, anukulya se sankalpa pratikulya no. Anukulya se no. Sarvobadhi vinirmuktam tatparetvena nirmanam Hrishikesha Hrishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. This is the definition given by Naradji, that nirmalam, that we have to become pure from all biases. And the other definition is by Rupa Goswami in the same context. Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam Anukulena Krishnanushilanam Bhakti Uttama. So bhakti should be done in an anukul way. See, in this context, Naradji did not talk about anukulta, rather he talked about absorption. This is the character of a devotee. He knows which string to pull at what time, because a devotee is always aware of his vulnerable nature. He knows that we are always very vulnerable. Jivas are very vulnerable, which means we can fall down or we can be distracted at any moment. That's why they are very cautious and they always glorify others. They always see the good in others. They don't see good in themselves. This is very important thing which comes out from the behavior of Naradji. He didn't say, oh, he was a demon, he was always against Krishna, and in devotion you are favorable towards Krishna. He didn't say that. Rather he said, look at his absorption, look at the good quality in him. Don't look at the bad, look at the good quality in him. That's the characteristic of a devotee. Prabhupada explains this. Prabhupada tells that, okay, this is not only in Naradji, but we see this quality in all the Vaishnavas. Prabhupada gives example of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also, who says even Jagai Madai are better than me. And he must have his own reasons to tell that. He's not just saying it hypothetically. He's not just saying it as a sentiment, but rather there is some strong reason why he's saying that. Just like we saw in this case, there was a strong reason why is he praising Shishupala. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. So this is how he explains. Okay, now next coming to how to attain Krishna. So he says, now when Naradji is explaining the importance of engaging with Krishna, he says, many persons have attained liberation simply by thinking of Krishna with great attention and giving up sinful activities. This great attention may be due to lusty desires, inimical feeling, fear, affection, or devotional service. So he says, just concentrate your mind on Krishna, either with lusty desire, with enemy or animosity, with fear, with affection, or with devotion. Anyway, just engage with Krishna. So there is a famous saying, Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshaya or niyojaya, which means somehow or other just engage with Krishna. And Naraji is saying, these are all different ways one can engage with Krishna. Apparently they may look not so nice, but since it is in relationship with Krishna, it is giving benefit. So first he says lusty desires. Who is an example of absorption in Krishna with lusty desires?
Gopis.
The gopis of Vrindavan. Inimical feeling.
Shishupala.
Shishupal, Dantavakra. Fear. Kamsa. Kamsa was always afraid of Krishna. Like, oh, his death, your death will come, oh my death. And he's always afraid, and he's seeing Krishna everywhere. So he's engaging with Krishna out of fear. So he attained Krishna. He also got liberation. Then at last he's saying devotional service also. Because he's a devotee, saying, okay, first he's saying affection. Sorry, I missed it. Affection means who is having affection for Krishna? Maya Yashoda, Yudhishthira Maharaj. So he's in the context. Oh, you Pandavas, you have affection for Krishna because you consider him as your family member and you have so much of affection for him. And the residents of Dwarka, the residents of Hastinapur, they have affection for Krishna and they are glorious and they have attained Krishna because of their affection. They are thinking of Krishna because of their affection. And then at last he says, and there are devotees like me. We are also able to attain Krishna by we try to remember Krishna because of our devotional service. So we are also one case. So he is very humble, and in this way he is presenting. These are all different ways one can engage with Krishna. So yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshaya. Also there is a famous verse from which Rupa Goswami gives a lot of emphasis on. He's saying, what is the purpose of the entire Vedic knowledge? What is the purpose of entire Vedic knowledge? There are so many different rituals, there are so many different limbs of knowledge, like Upanishads, there are so many different limbs of activities, Karmakanda, etc. So what is the purpose ultimately?
Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyam najatuchit.
Yes. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyam najatuchit, sarvaha vidinishedhasyu, etayoreva kinkara. He says, the purpose of entire this rules, regulations, etc. is just how to engage with Krishna, just to think about Krishna, just to absorb our mind in Krishna. Smartavyam means, smaran means remembering Krishna at all the time and not forgetting him at any time. That's the only purpose. So that's what Shishupala did, Vena did not do. That's as simple as that. And what about Kamsa, etc.? Everybody did that. That's why they got liberation. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. That's it.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the wonderful class. And I have two questions. When we talked about praise, we said that Krishna doesn't want praise also or something, but when we say that there's a relationship of love, then praise is included in that. Then how do we see this?
Yeah, good. I was few days ago I was discussing with Ankur. Ankur is not here. I was discussing with him. We were discussing one very nice saying from one devotee. I heard it from the lecture by one devotee. He was saying, in this world, we should love people and use things. On the other hand, what we do we use people and love things. Right? So I was thinking about the depth of this statement, that how we should use things and love people, which means we should use things in service to some relationship, but rather we use relationships to love some things, which to obtain some things. For example, I make a business relationship with you because I'm interested in business, in money. So I'm using you, a person, I'm using the relationship to get something out of it. It's business or money or something. So that's the point. So when we praise Krishna, we are using the language to love Krishna, to nourish that relationship which we have with Krishna. But on the other hand, somebody may use relationship to love praise, to get praise out of somebody, and they value praise more than the relationship. But Krishna does not value praise, he values you as a person. He wants a relationship with you. The praise is just a means to be used in that service, to be used in that relationship. Right? Just like when we offer food to Krishna, Krishna is not interested in food, he's interested in relationship with you. That's why he says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktaya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Upahritam Ashnami Pretatma. So he uses bhakti. Bhakti means relationship. I'm not interested in things, I'm interested in relationship. And things can be used to enhance the relationship or to engage with that relationship.
Also, like we saw the verse Anukulena Krishna, but this person, he simply blasphemed Krishna. So as a devotee, like we also know that if someone blasphemes a devotee, then either we should retaliate or we should leave that place as a reaction to it. But here Narad Muni is praising Shishupala.
There is an example here. Prabhupada once, some devotees came to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, you know, these filmmakers have made a film, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, and they are showing a very bad face of Hare Krishna movement. Prabhupada asked what is there, and then he said, oh, don't worry, people will chant Hare Krishna and they'll become devotees. Don't worry, they are engaging with Krishna. And you know how I first heard Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Oh, through that.
From that song. I did not know anything about ISKCON or devotees, but I heard this song. This became so famous in India. I didn't watch the movie. I've never watched the movie, but I heard this song because in our school we used to play Antakshari and people will sing Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. And I don't know. So I became attached to this Hare Krishna Mahamantra through that. So Prabhupada said that, and he said, don't do anything. It's fine. There are examples.
So, like, if a devotee gets angry on such behavior of a person, then that is also okay. But on the other hand, if someone praises that person for such a behavior, that is also okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the question.
Like usually, if someone uses bad words for our parents or our loved ones, then our natural reaction is anger. Yeah, but Naradu's natural reaction was praise for that person. So both are okay, both are right.
It depends. Like there was one person, I was with one devotee in UK, very nice devotee, very learned devotee. I learned very much of my Bhagavatam from that devotee. And I asked him, there was one person who was like on TV and everywhere he will be criticizing Vedic culture, Krishna. And I told him, oh, you are such a nice scholar, you should write something against that person. He said, who cares? Who cares about him? So he did not engage with that person because what is the need? So, and what happened eventually, now nobody even knows where is that person who was saying all these things. So, time. So as we saw, time annihilates the tamagun automatically. Yeah, it depends. Like Hanumanji, he fought for Mother Sita. He basically went to Lanka and did so much, displayed his anger, burnt up the whole city to burn it down. So this is what Hanumanji did. So it depends. So what I see here is a lot of scope for individuality. Everybody is a person, and Krishna appreciates your service. He does not make a rule, okay, you can only serve me like this. Relationship means there is freedom. Hanumanji wants to express his love for Lord Ram by burning down Lanka. You may want to express love with Lord Ram by maybe not doing anything. Like Vibhishan did not do anything. Vibhishan was with Ravana, but he did not burn down Lanka or did not do anything. That is his way of expressing his love for Lord Ram. Everybody is an individual, and depending on the situation and their individual bhakti, they deal with the situations.
So Prabhu, my question is back again on partiality. Sorry to come back. So the thing is, Prabhu, as in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said like we shouldn't be partial toward the devotees or non-devotees. We should be equipoised in different situations, and also while having like relationship with the devotees or non-devotees or materialists, whoever. But the thing is, Prabhu, I have observed myself and also the others also. We do favor and yeah, like we do favor toward the devotees or whomever we know, like with whom we are doing service. We have some kind of relationship, these kind of things. So my question is like, is it bad to having this kind of partial mentality towards someone or having this kind of affectionate towards someone? And then Prabhu, like after this
I would say it is not bad, but it is unavoidable, unfortunately. So it is not unusual. So, but what is unusual or what is rare is to find a person who is free from any partiality. Somebody who is free from partiality, that person is very rare. Sudurlabha. Krishna says bhakti, Shuddha bhakti is sudurlabha. So this quality is also sudurlabha. Somebody who is totally free from partiality, who is really transparent, honest and unbiased. And we should aspire to become like that.
So my next question is regarding that. So as you have already mentioned, like how we can cultivate this kind of mentality within us?
I have to learn from you. Yeah. I don't know. Who can answer? You want to answer, Andrew Prabhu?
Well, first of all, this is a process. Well, it's not like, and now we have to continue. First thing is, we get aware of what we need to improve, first thing. And then the next step is, like you said, what are the consequences of our doings? So partiality is one thing, like I favor the devotees. Okay, but if you serve prasadam, give you the devotees twice as much as the non-devotees? No, you just give you equal. So the consequences are just like impartiality. Or maybe you're just welcoming people you don't know because they're new, and it's like, oh, a new face, that's great. So if we don't act impartial, even though we feel impartial, then that's the first step, to remember everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna, and he lives in all our hearts, and respect that. See, respect everyone because Krishna is within everyone. That's the way to practice. And I hope that leads to something. We all can just practice and continue. And the next day start again and again and again.
Thank you. I really liked your answer, the way you started. You said, first we have to become aware that where am I need improvement. Thank you.
And Prabhu, the last point, what you mentioned, that with time, our tamagun will decrease, or with time it will be, like going toward some kind of improvement or so. So Prabhu, if someone wants to get this improvement rapid, so going from like tamagun and then raising raja and then like satya and suddha satya, like trying to go this. So what is the process to have these moods of nature? Like how can we elevate from the lower mood to the upper mood and rapid through?
Prabhupada has a lecture called The Bhakti Lift. You can listen to that lecture, The Bhakti Lift. So where he says you can take the lift of Krishna consciousness and you can transcend the three modes immediately.
Can you lower the volume of this? In the black monitor on your left.
So, Hare Krishna. Okay. So,
Sometimes I feel, Sumit Prabhu, you're asking questions just for the sake of asking, or are these genuine questions?
Genuine questions.
Maybe.
like with the discussion that we had about favoring someone, or so does it looks like sometimes that it's impersonal also. like Krishna is not affected by praise or by bad words, and he expects us also to be the same. And then even if someone is engaging or helping in the temple, and favoring them is not seen good in a good aspect, like we saw that it is the problem and we should deal with it. But then is it impersonal then? Like someone is engaging, trying to help, and then the natural flow of affection is not seen correct, or?
Oh, it's relationship.
Yeah.
That's what we are discussing. Relationship. When somebody has a relationship, or somebody is coming forward for a healthy or good relationship, so we also engage with that, or Krishna engages with that relationship. So if I serve Krishna, so Krishna says, oh, this person is, he wants to have a relationship with me, let me also put some energy into that relationship, or put some efforts into that relationship. So we take one step, Krishna takes 10 steps. It's a common saying, and this means in relationship. So he's not interested in our gifts or our objects which we are offering, or our praises which we are offering, the prayers which we are offering, but rather he's interested in the relationship. That is why it is said that Krishna adores the chastisements of the gopis of Vrindavan or Mother Yashoda more than the Vedic hymns by yogis or munis, because the yogis, they are not much, or maybe they have a desire to have a relationship but not very intense desire, or as intense as Mother Yashoda and the gopis, that how much desire they have to have a relationship with Krishna. That's why Krishna relishes it more or engages with it more.
As you answered the previous question, Sumit Prabhu, you said it's unavoidable.
That is in the material world, we have conditioning, so it is unavoidable for us, but it's possible for pure devotees and of course for Krishna. It is because we are conditioned. In our conditioned state, we become biased or partial. But Krishna is not biased, he is not contaminated. So it's difficult for me to behave properly with everybody. For Krishna, it's not a difficult task at all. It's very natural for him because he is perfectly pure in his natural state. But we are contaminated, so difficult for us to behave naturally because I am in an unnatural state.
Yeah, maybe I can answer. Yeah, so I have like this question since many days maybe. So the question is, what is the difference between? So it's not related to topic. So the question is like, what is the difference between sentimental Krishna consciousness, like even though I'm chanting 16 rounds, and the Krishna consciousness that is given by Prabhupada and coming from the Mahaprabhu?
It's like, what is robust? What is more robust? If I have some sentiment, it will fade away with time. No? Today I have some sentiment for you, and tomorrow I will think, "Arey, theek hai, bhai, forget." Vaibhav. Oh, theek hai, koi Vaibhav. I was a friend with him, but theek hai, life moves on. Ho gaya. Sentimental means it won't be robust. So I will move on to other things. Maybe sense gratification, maybe something. Although it is good to engage with Krishna in whatever way we do, but when we are doing only sentimentally, then it won't last for long. No? But when we have good knowledge, then we will put some effort to, no, this is something really I have to do because this is something good for me. So, yeah. And then, of course, I'm immature, that's why I don't have knowledge, right? So, which means if I'm sentimental, and this means I certainly don't expect knowledge from me. I may do things which are very odd, very stupid, or very impure, so to say.
Thank you, Raj. So, any questions? 1, 2, 3. No. So, thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. His Grace Vedanta Sutra Prabhuji ki, Prabhupada ki.